wanted to show a couple things that I finished off. The curtain, I finished it a couple weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. But the paintbrushes up above, I just finished them. And the curtain is an upcycle. I believe it was some type of curtain draping or something, a swag. But some of the squares were rotted out, so a friend gave it to me. And then I took the blue flowered fabric, were like little placemats or table runners to put on a table that somebody had appliqued. And so I cut different squares out because it was really stained in one area. And this one here was from a dress, the bottom part of a dress. That was the dress also. And then this one in the corner was also the table, applique table runner or table mat. And then I crocheted all these little flowers on a chain to hang on top of the curtain. So right now in the wintertime, I put an insulated quilt on the other side, and it can make this space 10 degrees warmer, which is really nice when all that sun comes in. So the paintbrushes, of course, there's paintbrushes that I let dry out and messed up, so I had a little collection of them and decided now was the time. I wanted to put them up there with little pieces of artwork over the drafting table. So that was the latest project, is getting that done. I really like the little papers I put up there. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that. There it is. Little pockets with notes in it. And this other raven with a blue brush. Alrighty. I love all this turquoise color. And then this one I put all the paintbrushes in. And then this was a junk journal I did on a challenge, I think in 2022, with some of the girls online. I'll show you 1 or 2 pages. So the challenge was to take an old notebook, 3-ring notebook, and make it into the journal. So this was the challenges. They sent out a printable that you could print and put all your challenges in there. And the first challenge was opening. A little pocket on the front to put that in. And so opening, I went with doors because I learned this rusty technique. So I wanted to make hinges in rusty looking areas. So it is, get a good picture of that. It is 3 layers of cardboard or watercolor and glued together, and then I painted the piece in browns and a little bit of turquoise, and then you put cinnamon and Mod Podge and kind of mix it together a little bit. It's going to be fluffy sitting on the outside of it mostly. But then you put a heat gun to it and it bubbles and adheres it to the cardboard. So I put a little latch on the doors to open. So the little mouse was the mascot that particular year. So I have him looking out the window, and on the inside I put a little ladder for him to crawl up. And the house number, and Ms. Rodent. I added a little snow around it because it's a Christmas theme on that. And the other one I like was this one, Salvaged Birds. So I took one of my drawings and added a collage of fabrics and stuff on it. This one was Bubble in a Bubble, a selfie in a bubble, sorry. So Rodent is taking a picture of me in his camera, and I am taking a picture of him in my camera. And then there's bubbles that I played around with on acetate and cardstock and stuck them in the bubbles that are behind here. So that was fun. And then this one was a shaker, so that was hard to manipulate, getting the freestanding. And then this one was wings. What was it? Wings and clocks. And because I was going bigger, trying to do differently than what I'd been in the past, plus it was a big 3-ring notebook, so I went full page, had a lot of depth to it. This was cork wallpaper, so I made it a wristband, put the wings behind it, and a watch band. I had a lot of little watches behind it. And then it's a manila folder, so I used the pockets in collaging and then put several tags inside of this, little pockets, and gave the mascot wings. This one of my online buddies sent me Happy Mail with this and a bunch of other stuff in it. And so I put it in this with a little charm on it. So that's all I wanted to show, is just a snippet of that. Oh, I could show you since it's Halloween time. This one is Halloween meets Christmas. So I used my texture paste and gave it a lot of texture. That's why I couldn't fit but 6 or 7 challenges in here. And gave a little Christmas girl with ballet on and charms hanging from her Santa hat. And then you flip it up and it's a witch's flying school. So I gave her a broom and a witch's hat and blended it in. And then I had pockets here, so I put a picture of Ms. Dent in a picture frame. I had to cut out her hand to make it look like she was holding the frame up. Oh, and then this is a Guatemala girl spinning. So that was fun. And there's a little bottle on the broom, made out of raffia and a popsicle stick. So even the tree kind of disappears. When it's up here, it's a whole Christmas tree. So that was fun. So that's the, where's the focus? There it is. The drafting art place on my porch. And you know, the Boho is behind me, the Boho room. And then down here is the rest of the porch. Keeps going. So I have a Boho library in here. Not a Boho, a library, art library. So I have a bunch of art books that I've collected over the years, or at least the past 40 years. And my shelf I built and I painted and did collaging on the side of it and painted all shelves with little quotes on it. And then I gotta have my collection of pandas. And then these pictures here are watercolor that I did. It's too much reflection. Too much reflection. But anyway, you get the idea. There's one. So I kind of did different flowers, but they're all in blue, which poppies aren't in blue. Then a friend gave me the dragonfly, and my son gave me the heart. More doodads. And then clear down at the other end is the breakfast room. And it's the Florida room, because I was raised in Florida quite a bit, so I have all kinds of knickknacks here. Definitely an artist thing. That is an old airplane that my father started to build and didn't finish. So I have a lot of Florida stuff down here. My father built this paddle boat that he had a remote control car in as an engine, and he could take it out on the water and actually paddle it. So I've gotten quite a collection of little boats and stuff here. That table was given to me too. The lady that was throwing away a bunch of fabric told him to take it all to the dump. So that table was in there, and bolts of fabric. And there's the shell collection. Every year when I went to Florida, I would find some shells. And this sign I made when I was at my mom's to put on the wall. And it's my two brothers down at the beach building sandcastles. And it's acrylic paint and a little bit of seagrass, which was gotten years and years ago before it was illegal to pick. I'm thinking the seeds should be pretty interesting. So that's my porch, and the creek is right down there. So in the summer you can hear the creek rippling by. I want to work on this area here since it's just a walk through. I want to make it like a watery area with rocks on each side heading to the beach. So eventually it's one of those manifestations that will happen. And here I have some of my very first journals in 2017. And boy, have I learned a lot of different techniques since the beginning. My cigar boxes and candy boxes full of cards from other artists from years ago. Every time I went to an opening, I got their postcard or business card. A little collection of old suitcases and a vintage TV. I'm sure you could see the Indian symbol there when the TV went off air. And then these are, let's see if I can get a good picture. The ravens, and they're all made out of cardboard and layers of cardboard. And so I have them on some branches. And this guy's fallen upside down. With the sun outside, you can't get a very good picture. And they're hovering over a nest. There we go. Okay. I think I need to sign out, and y'all have a good day.